Counting this year's honorees, we have inducted 45 outstanding SPS graduates into our Hall of Fame since its inception. Choosing who will be recognized each year is a challenge, but we have a group of community members, parents, and staff who take on this task. Each year, we invite the public to submit nominations. Then this group convenes in the spring to review them and select the individuals we will induct into the Hall of Fame. Please stand if you served on the Hall of Fame Selection Committee this year. Please stand. Thank you for your time and efforts in choosing these outstanding inductees. Thank you again to the committee. As superintendent, I look forward to this event each year so that I can hear the amazing success stories about our graduates. We are fortunate that several Hall of Fame inductees are joining us today. Please stand as I call your name. From the class of 2015, it's Susan Everett Provance. Yay, Coach Provance. Coach Provance is a 1971 Glendale High School graduate and current member of the Board of Education. So you know we have it going on, don't we? I know Steve is not here, but I'd like to recognize him because he attended the reception last night. So from the class of 2020 is Steve Grant, a 1972 Hillcrest High School graduate. Steve is not here, but like I said, he did attend the reception on last night. From the class of 2013 is Elaine Graham Estes, a 1949 Lincoln High School graduate. Thank you for joining us and for being such distinguished representatives of Springfield Public Schools. The accomplishments of all of our inductees are an inspiration for current and future students. This was a driving force behind the creation of the Hall of Fame. So each year, we invite SPS students to join us. Today they are here as special guests, greeters, and escorts for our inductees. If you are a current SPS student in attendance today, please stand to be recognized. I would also like to acknowledge our Board of Education. Board members that are present, please stand as I call your name. Our Board President, Danielle Kincaid. Vice President, Judy Bruner. And once again, Susan Provance, Board member. These volunteers spend many hours working on behalf of our students and staff. Once again, board members, thank you so much for your service. Finally, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each of you in attendance today. Many of you are parents or grandparents of our students. Some of you may even be SPS graduates. Your support of our school district means that we can continue to make a difference in the lives of students and prepare each of them to reach their full potential. Everything we do at SPS is intended to prepare students to be success ready when they graduate. Today, I'm excited to shine a spotlight on the success stories of just a few of our graduates, the 2024 class of Springfield Public Schools Hall of Fame. To introduce our first inductee, I would like to invite to the stage Kawawi Asari Bua, who is a junior at Central High School. Please come up. And I'm going to say it once again because I want to make sure I have it right because I know how people butcher Grenita and they call me everything but Grenita. Kahu? Kwaku Asari Boa.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Kwaku.
Good afternoon. Today, it is my pleasure to represent Central High School by introducing one of our exceptional alumni. Billie Jean Cooper is a 1968 graduate of Central High School. When he started picking cotton at the age of 5, Mr. Cooper knew that he would have to work harder than most people during his lifetime to overcome his challenges. While he's faced poverty, discrimination, unemployment, and health problems, Cooper is always focused on how he can help others. Whether it was through his job or his many volunteer roles, he wanted to be the person who said yes when somebody needed a helping hand. During his 28-year career as a workforce development specialist, he guided others along the path of success, which earned him the honor of Missouri's Workforce Development Professional of the Year. And he was just as dedicated in his volunteer work. For 40 years, he coached and mentored young athletes through the Boys and Girls Club. He's greeted patrons at Juanita K. Hammons Hall for 31 years. He and his wife, Dora, were named Volunteers of the Year by Hammons Hall in 2010. Let's watch this video to find out more about Mr. Cooper.
When I first met Billy Cooper, we were at Pipkin Junior High School. Our 8th grade year, we had a great year, so we became very tight and close friends for that year because we didn't lose a single football game, a basketball game, or track. And Billy played football and track those years. He was strong, and he was determined. You would see Billy coming down the home stretch, pushing himself as hard as he could. And it was really inspirational to see him finish those races the way he did.
I don't remember now how we first met, but I know that he is one of the persons that got me started in the coaching at the Boys and Girls Club of Springfield. He started coaching kids, then his son Josh came along, and of course he coached him. He coached several other kids in and around the community. We need leaders in the community, regardless of who's who and what's what, to step up to the plate and do something like it. It's because there is a future in tomorrow, and tomorrow is our youth.
I knew Billy kind of a little bit in high school, but probably became more friends with him later on after school. From my understanding, his work, social work, was particularly with young people that maybe didn't have all the advantages of life, and he was there to try to motivate them, encourage them to have a positive influence upon a kid. That's such a great thing.
It's without a doubt that Billy's perseverance and determination and trying to do what's right are his strongest attributes. He's had to overcome many things: social issues, health issues, and he's overcome all of those and become somebody who I and so many of my classmates admire.
Whenever I talk with Dora, she's always so supportive of Billy, and it's just the same thing when I talk with Billy about her. So, I mean, their relationship has been one of mutual love for each other. They face challenges in life, many different kinds, and they've always just said, hey, we'll work through this, we're gonna stay positive. I tell myself, that's what I need to do too, stay positive no matter what happens.
He's very grounded, very principled. He tries to do things that are right for people. We've talked before, and he said, he wants to be able to say yes to people, because people have said, up to a certain point in his life, said no. And he wanted to be able to influence others' lives by giving them a chance. When people came out and asked him to volunteer, he stepped up, whether it's in youth sports, whether it's with Boys and Girls Club, as far as being on their board, and he hasn't said no.
Well, this could not happen to a nicer fella, him going into the SPS Hall of Fame. And all I want to say is, Billy, good luck to you. I'm glad I'm your friend. May you live long, long lives after this, and God bless you.
Billy Cooper, again, congratulations for your induction into the SPS Hall of Fame.
I couldn't be happier to congratulate Billy Cooper on entering the Springfield Public Schools Hall of Fame. Billy, I've known you for over 60 years, it seems like, and you've just been a real inspiration for me and inspiration to so many others. on the impact you've made on others' lives. The obstacles you've overcome, the persistence you've shown, it's just just amazing. So, I think I can speak for the class of 1968 Central High School Bulldogs. Congratulations, and it's a well-earned and deserved honor.
Now, please welcome to the stage 1968 graduate of Central High School, Billie Jean Cooper.
Good afternoon. I would like to, first of all, just thank all the people that I had no idea, even had any idea of what I did, because I did what I wanted to do, because I love people. I love volunteering because when I was a boy, I was a sharecropper. I started picking cotton when I was 5 years old. And I had a mother, even though we were poor, that always found a way to give to somebody else. And she set the example. And the thing that she told me was, Billy, you know the difference between right and wrong. And if you do the right thing, you will be okay. And I believed her, and I still believe her. Because I started out so poor, I can identify with people that have obstacles in their way. I can appreciate their not having confidence in themselves, not realizing that their past doesn't have to be their future. I just want you to know that you've made an old black man really happy. Thank you.
Our next inductee will be introduced by Wesley Kinsevic, a senior at Hillcrest High School. Please join me in welcoming Wesley to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Lathan. Dr. Denise Frederick is a 1972 graduate of Hillcrest High School. From her first day of school at Fairview Elementary, Dr. Frederick has cultivated a love for learning and teaching that has influenced her path. Her teachers were role models that inspired her to make education the focus of her life's work. Dr. Frederick wanted to inspire students to love learning and strive for their goals, just like her teachers had done so she became a high school science teacher. She was honored with multiple awards for excellence in teaching, including the National Milken Education Award, SPS Teacher of the Year, Missouri State University Outstanding Young Alumni of Science Teachers of Missouri Presidential Citation, and even after retiring from a lengthy career in public education, Dr. Frederick wanted to continue supporting students and teachers, so she joined the Springfield Board of Education. During her 12 years on the board, she played a key role in the passage of 2 bond proposals, which funded $388 million in improvements for schools, including Hillcrest High School. She also advocates on behalf of children in various community roles, including serving on the 2024 United Way Campaign Cabinet and the advisory board for the Missouri State McQueary College of Human and Health Services. Here's a video that highlights the careers and accomplishments of Dr. Denise Frederick.
I first met Denise when I became principal of Kickapoo High School in 1999. I started my job in July, and so during that summer, many of the staff members, including Denise, would stop by to introduce themselves to me. So Denise and I then got to spend 11 years together at Kickapoo before she moved on to the science curriculum department. We maintained and continued to be in touch with each other during that whole time, and today I would consider Denise to be one of my best friends.
Well, I've known Denise for more than 40 years, and we both started as early career teachers at Kickapoo High School. She has been a loyal friend and an outstanding colleague for all those years.
I met Denise about 10 years ago when she was serving on the school board. Denise and I ended up serving on the school board for 6 years together. And so she took me under her wings and mentored me, taught me all of the terminology, the board procedures and processes, answered any questions I had, and really helped me find a voice at the board table. And then since we are no longer serving together, she's been a vital friend, and we continue to stay in touch on a regular basis.
My initial impression of Denise was that she was funny, she was smart, and she was stunningly focused on students.
I would describe Denise as, first of all, she was very likable. She loved to laugh, which is something a lot of people don't know about her. She had a great personality. I could instantly see, though, that she was extremely intelligent, especially in her subject matter, and how important it was to her to be a really good teacher.
And she has been unwavering. She's laser focused on ensuring that kids and educators have what they need to succeed in the classroom. And I love watching her at groundbreaking and ribbon cutting because she's always excited, and she's got tears and Kleenexes because she knows the impact that that's going to have on our community for years to come.
Denise had a very exceptional relationship with students, and it was one that was based on high expectations of herself and high expectations of her students, and yet she managed to have a lot of fun. So she was highly respected and adored by her students.
I think the fact that she was so dedicated to the field of education, whatever role that was. She was a great teacher, then she became a curriculum coordinator, then she went on to other roles, even with the Springfield Public Schools and Missouri State, and then she went on to be on the Board of Education. Just her dedication to education in itself was something that most people won't do, and Denise did. It was like she maybe wanted to retire but just couldn't really give it up yet, and so she had to make sure she did all of those jobs before she moved on.
Well, one of the best things she did with her sense of humor was back in the day when we dissected frogs, live frogs, she was known to come in wearing a dissected frog costume for her students.
Another playful thing is Denise, she loves cats, and when we would sit by each other in board meetings, we would write notes to each other, and if something odd was going on in the meeting, she would write on the note and pass it to me. "Are you kidding me right meow?" And we would just start giggling, and nobody would know what we're giggling about. I would also say that she loved her mama, and her mom would be so proud and to see Denise being honored today.
Congratulations, Denise. This is an honor that I am not surprised at all that you would receive. And as your former principal, I want to congratulate you. But as your friend, I want to say how wonderful it is that you have received this award, and you definitely deserve it.
Congratulations, Denise. I am so proud of you. You deserve to be recognized today. And I just want you to know that you have changed the trajectory of many students and teachers' life over the course of your career and your board service. So thank you.
Congratulations, Denise. I'm so proud of you. You're very deserving, and I'm so pleased to call you my friend.
Now, please welcome to the stage Dr. Denise Frederick, a 1972 Hillcrest graduate.
Okay. See, better take these out. I think it's going to happen. So it's kind of cool to get to be present at your celebration of life. That's how I feel. So, thank you. So, congratulations to Mr. Billie Jean Cooper on his induction. I am honored to be your 2024 Hall of Fame classmate. What you have given back to this community is amazing. So thank you to the Alumni Hall of Fame sponsors. We've heard who everyone, all the sponsors, and so I'm not going to repeat them because that's going to help cut a few minutes out of my speech. I'm on a time limit, so. But I want to mention that I appreciate the hard work that's required to organize an event of this magnitude. I especially appreciate the time SPS Director of Communications, Teresa Bledsoe, has provided to me over the last few weeks. There's been a few phone calls back and forth on issues. So to help me find words for today, I spent many hours reflecting on my life with SPS. Starting with my elementary days at Fairview Elementary, now the location of the amazing Academy of Exploration. Junior high at Reed, which is about to have a brand new building, and high school at Hillcrest, which is affectionately now called The Hill by the students. Then as a teacher at Kickapoo High School, a district administrator, and last as a school board member. So the only words I can find to describe my 50-plus years involved in this school district is what an unexpected and a wonderful journey. So there's a few people I need to recognize that I want to thank them for their love and support and encouragement. And that is I am blessed to have a wonderful family. I have today here cousins, sisters, sister-in-law, a niece. They drove up from Arkansas this morning, special for this, nephew, and a niece-in-law. My bonus son, Doug, is here, and my spouse. So my beloved parents, and my brother, they're not with us here in this realm, but they're here in my heart. So I had amazing parents and a mother that taught me, not by just actions, but by her involvement in my education through PTA. And here's what she expected me. She said I should not take my education for granted. And it was my job, 1, to attend school every day and graduate, 2, respect and listen to my teachers, and 3, take advantage of and engage in all that school had to offer. So for my teachers, and I'm not sure I have any teachers here today because I'm kind of old, so that means they're kind of older. But anyway, it was my teachers that instilled a love of learning in my young life, and they provided me with knowledge and skills needed to reach my potential. These same individuals also inspired my passion to become a teacher and a desire to pay forward similar experiences to my students. And then to my friends, my mentors, my colleagues, my coworkers, some or all, or one of those fit into that category. These are the folks who have stood alongside me either personally or professionally during incredible fun and incredible challenging times. We have worked, we have played, we have laughed, we have cried together for many times during the various seasons of our life. Several are in attendance, so I want to mention those that are here today include lifelong family, friend. I'm not going to say all the names or we'll really go on. So lifelong friends, and then friends, neighbors that have become dear friends, and that started when I knocked on their doors asking for signatures for my board petitions over and over and over and over again. Some of them were shaking their head, yep, you know. And then my KHS teaching family. I have a whole table of my KSS teaching family. I wouldn't be a teacher if I didn't ask you to raise your hand. Now they are. And also current KHS students here as well, and I'm so excited to see them. Then current and former SPS leadership staff. Some of the folks I worked with are here. And then my previous board member family. So they're over here. Hi, guys. Okay. There are several community organizations I want to mention. This group of individuals provided resources, opportunities, and connections for me with others outside my SPS world. Thank you to the SPS Task Force on Facilities, which was both staff and community volunteers, the staff of the SPS Foundation, and a team of community volunteers that was highly influential in 2 successful bond levies, the Yes on S team. I met a special SPS teacher during my time on the task force, Melanie Donnell. Melanie, thank you for your great support during the Yes on S campaign, because it made a difference when a teacher spoke up. And thank you for our special friendship. Melanie, where are you? I know you're right out here somewhere. There she is. Thank you. Sponsors and those that invested in me. My dear cousin Ed Pinniger served as my treasurer for my one and only school board campaign in 2011. If he were with us today, he would probably not want me to single him out, but he was instrumental in my first effort to run a school board campaign, and he served as a vital source of experience and advice during my board service. So I want to say thank you to the Pinniger family for a lifetime of support. And then my husband, Gail, who some of you may know as a Hall of Famer in his own right. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Every time I came up with something else I thought I might want to try to do, like applying for new positions, pursue a PhD in my 50s, retirement, take a post-retirement job at MSU, run a school board campaign, serve on the school board for 12 years, he always said, why not? Gail is always my best sounding board and encourager. Thank you. So now I want to share just a few stories. As a science teacher, I feel I need to give evidence for my stories of how SPS as a nurturing system prepared me for my life's work. Love of reading. My 3rd grade elementary teacher, along with my elementary principal, selected me to be the student to pick out books from the bookmobile. How many of you remember when bookmobiles stopped at our schools before schools had libraries? The bookmobile. So they designated me to pick out the books for my classmates and be the monitor of the books until the bookmobile returned sometime later in the school year. I want to thank Mrs. Leona Reed and Mr. John Grace. Mrs. Reed encouraged me to read as much as I wanted, but she had to remind me that sneak reading during my lessons was not appropriate. So some of you don't understand what that means. Is when a student, you can hold up your subject area book, and then you sneak your library book in the middle of it, and then you can finish that chapter that you just can't stand to wait to read. So I would have loved to be a student on one of Dr. Granita Lathan's drop days. If you don't know what that is, or one of her dear days, sorry. And that means drop everything and read. What an amazing thing for our students to have today in Springfield. I'm a ravenous reader to this day, but I am convinced that my love of reading was the origin for my love of learning. Now, love of science. During our discussion on my progress in 7th grade life science class, my science teacher, Mrs. Elizabeth Statler, she was wonderful. She wore red kids to school every day, kid tennis shoes, and that was back in the day, so she was amazing. But she discovered that I felt that I was not smart enough to do well in science. She also discovered that I loved to draw. So she gave me the task of illustrating the 7th grade Living Things scrapbook. Now that was something I felt I could do, and I worked hours and hours on the project. I learned things about living things that I remember today. She said, "Denise, see how much fun it is to learn about living things? And you did it." Great encouragement. Love of being part of a team. I also love sports, but unfortunately for me, I missed Title IX by 1 year. My opportunity to participate in girls' athletics was limited. For the younger folks here today, Title IX was a landmark federal civil rights law that was enacted as part of the Education Amendments of 1972. Title IX ensured that women and girls have access to the same academic and athletic opportunities that were afforded to men and boys, but it was not implemented until '73. I graduated in '72. So prior to Title IX, the only opportunity for girls to compete in volleyball, basketball, and gymnastics was a one-time-a-year fall and spring sports day on a Saturday. My high school teacher, PE teacher and coach, Miss Marilyn Moore, stayed for hours after school to practice with girls interested in participating in a sports day. I later realized that Miss Moore did not receive a stipend for her time after school. She did it because she wanted her female students to have an opportunity to experience the competition, the excitement of competition, and learn to be good teammates. Next, learning to value staff. Exemplary principals value their teachers, identify their strengths and challenges, and do what they can to support them. Early in her role as principal at Kickapoo High School, Pam McGinnis identified a member of her science staff as not a morning person. And yes, it was me. So consequently, Ms. McGinnis did her best to schedule a first block conference for me for 10 of our 12 years working together. She always said, "Denise, I know you're not a morning person, but I also know you'll be the last teacher to leave the building in the evening. So thank you for valuing me as a professional, Pam McGinnis." A well-respected and beloved KHS science teacher, Anita Kissinger, made a move up to our district professional development director position. She designed and created a step-up program to support beginning teachers. This program received national recognition and I think is still in place in SPS. Parts and pieces of it are in place. After Anita moved to her new position, the district science curriculum position opened. Anita encouraged me to consider this position, and in 2001, I moved from the classroom into the world of administration. And back in the day, we kind of said the dark side. But it really wasn't. This was the first time a woman held the position of science curriculum facilitator in the history of SPS. And I felt privileged to direct my energy to supporting my fellow science teachers on a district level. So now this step into administration led to an opportunity to lead the Accountability and Federal Programs Department, or for short, Title I. Title I funding provides additional learning resources for children from under-resourced families and for those children that are progressing at a slower pace than their peers. Always an encourager, Anita challenged me to think about what a difference we could make in the lives of children that need us most. Thank you for being my role model of what an exemplary educator and a compassionate human looks like, Anita. Now, respect for support staff. Accountability in federal programs was a huge career change for me. Fortunately, I had several individuals who were essential in aiding me with the business of the program. Anytime you work with government regulations and requirements, it's a lot of work. An especially capable and talented individual came into my life as an administrative assistant and stayed in my life as a cherished friend. Trish Hubble was my lifeline. When she accepted the position to work with me, I explained to her that our work would be rewarding and challenging as we would be learning about federal guidelines and compliance requirements at light speed. Trish took 2 massive binders of information home her first week of work, and she actually returned to work on Monday morning and said, "Dee Frederick, we got this. Thank you for standing next to me during those challenging years. I loved my work in Title I as I had the opportunity to support kids just like me." Post-retirement, a former science teacher friend and then teacher association leader suggested, and he encouraged, and he cajoled, and eventually persuaded me to run for an open seat on the school board. I think we have kept that under our hats for all these years, so sorry, Ray, I'm giving you the credit today. He said, "Think of what a difference you can make in the lives of teachers, staff, students, and their families." So thank you, Ray Smith. Love of board service. I'm getting there. We're getting close. Love of board service. Each month for 12 years, 2011 to 2023, during my school board service, I sat proudly as our administration reported numerous students receiving national, state, regional, and local awards for everything from broadcasting to speech and debate, and theater, music, and business, and technology, and science, and academics, and athletics, and citizenship, and similar presentations for staff that have been recognized by national and state professional organizations for excellence, in addition to honoring all the staff that go above and beyond to serve our students and families. I had the honor of attending 12 years of graduations for students and learning about the millions of dollars of scholarships that they receive. During my time on the board, I also had an opportunity to work with an exceptional group of community professionals that dedicated their time to SPS by serving as school board members. We built a strong team, all with a focus on doing what is best for SPS staff, students, and teachers. We did not always agree, and we might hold different opinions on various issues, but we always had the highest respect for each other and demonstrated that at our meetings. And I believe people are brought into our lives to bring us new learning and strengthen our desire to be better at what we do. When Alina Leonard joined the board, I think it was 2016, was that sometime in there, she brought a practical perspective of how the board might better communicate with our community. She demonstrated how to be a good listener and how to be better leaders by understanding each board member's strengths. I learned much from her: honesty, integrity, kindness, and concern for others. I call her my counselor, and I claim her as a vital friend, Lena. Springfield Public Schools is the largest district in the state of Missouri and ranks consistently among the best in the country for its academic programs, excellent programs. Springfield Public Schools are the core of our community, and its students are achieving in unprecedented ways. And today, I am here in this moment to proclaim loud and proud that Springfield Public Schools created a mission, a vision, and a profound commitment to ensure all students gain the skills needed to reach their dreams and potential. And in some cases, as in the one that stands before you today, achieve beyond her dreams and potential. Thank you, Springfield Public Schools, for opening your doors for me.
Congratulations, Dr. Frederick.
This is awesome.
Back to your
Walk me
seat.
better. It's on my car.
Let me just say, as Denise takes her seat, if I had been a student in Springfield Public Schools, let me tell you about these teachers that I have a wonderful opportunity to work with on the school board. I would have eaten lunch in Denise Frederick's classroom. I would have helped coach Provence and been on some type of sports team. I was a track star, and I noticed I gave myself the star part. I was a track athlete. I would have been Judy Bruner's assistant in the office because I was nosy, and so I wanted to know everything. So I just want you to know, because you connect with certain teachers, and you know that as a former principal in the room will tell you, and those are that types. And then Betsy Cannella would have found our teacher of the year that's here from Kickapoo High School. I would have hung out with her with the robotics, but I would not have been able to participate because I would have been the robotics manager. But I would have been involved just to be around excellence as we think about the teachers in our lives. So thank you all so much. And to Mr. Cooper, I would have been on one of your sports teams just to be around you and to be coached by you. So I am so honored that I had the opportunity to present your awards today to both you and Dr. Frederick. So congratulations again. Thank you for attending the 15th annual SPS Hall of Fame luncheon to celebrate these outstanding Springfield Public Schools graduates. Let's give them another round of applause. Our inductees were influenced early on by teachers who prepared them to achieve their goals and dreams. Every day, our 24,500 students look to SPS teachers for support and encouragement. If you are a current or former teacher, please stand so that we may recognize you for your service in educating the leaders of tomorrow. Please stand. Sponsors, thank you once again for your support. This event would not be possible without the generosity of the Foundation for Springfield Public Schools, 417 Magazine, Ad Smith Marketing and Advertising, KY3, Maddox New Prater Eye Center, and Ozarks Coca-Cola Dr. Pepper Bottling Center. And also, I noticed that Steve Grant did join us, so Steve, glad to have you here today. Join me in thanking everyone one last time, all of our sponsors for today's event. I'd like to remind you that you can help determine who will be inducted into the 2025 Hall of Fame. If you know an outstanding graduate that deserves to be honored on this stage next year, take time to nominate them. Just go to sps.org/Hall of Fame and click on the nominations link. Finally, if you're an SPS graduate, I encourage you to join the SPS Alumni Connection to stay informed about upcoming reunions and other alumni events. You can read more details in your program. Once again, thank you for coming and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.